My beautiful, beautiful people. What's going on, man? We out here on this evening walk. Hey, listen, man. I really think that a lot of people need to do a self-evaluation, man. And I only say that because I feel like a lot of people need to get in tune with who they are, and not just a physical identity, but like, they spiritual identity, man. Like, I think that if a lot of individuals knew their spiritual identity, they would become different individuals, man. For real. Today is February 18th. 2026, man. It's about 7:10 in the evening here where I'm at. But there's a lot of good people out there still, and that will be acknowledged. But there's also a lot of lost people out there, and that will also be acknowledged. I ain't the kind of person that judges, but I am the kind of person that identifies, right? I, for a long time, didn't quite know myself, and I am not too egotistical to admit that I struggled with my identity spiritually, not necessarily physically, but it took for me to start getting attacked and gang stalked and whatever these people motive were, helped push me into understanding who I was on a spiritual level at the core. And for that, I thank my attackers, man, because sometimes what is meant for bad can literally turn into a good thing, depending on your mindset and your perspective on what's happening, right? Not saying I wasn't extremely angered, because I was absolutely angered, but the more I assessed myself spiritually, I understood something that was almost quite possibly the most importantest thing that I could have ever discovered about myself, which is, number one, I'm extremely resilient. Number two, I'm a powerful being. But most importantly, I'm a fighter, man. In a good way. And so I can't help but feel like that's something that a lot of people need to do, is take a real deep dive within and really understand who they are. It will help you greatly, man. And once again, I also say I'm still discovering myself. That can't go unspoken. I'm still discovering what kind of person I am. But so far, I'm happy to announce that I am happy with what I see in me, right? Things happen in life to a lot of us, right? Some people carry that hurt and those scars for the rest of their life, and it affects who they are, and it affects how they are, and I understand, you feel me? Like I do. I understand, man. Hurt is hurt. Pain is pain. And trauma is trauma. All you gotta do is look at the soldiers, the veterans, of those foreign wars. Back in the old times, those guys never recovered. They still meet up with other war buddies to talk about the trauma, because it is a badge that they wear of honor. And I understand now. You know, I used to walk around blind as Ray Charles, but not these days, you know. And I'm not gonna say I woke up, because I was already awake. I've been awake. But sometimes it's not about being awake. It's about discovery, you know. Something inside of your mind clicks. And then you understand, wait a minute, I'm a powerful being. I can get through just about anything when it comes to a spiritual warfare tactic. You know, spiritual warfare is serious. You know, it's a very, very, you know, powerful thing within itself. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't get through it, you know, because, you know, if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you have, you know. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Hey man, there's a lot of people walking around with superpowers and ain't even tapped into them, you know. But all it takes is for you to look within and take a self-analysis or an assessment, whatever you want to call it, to really understand we're really way more powerful than we think we are, you know. And what I mean by that is not like Superman or Spider-Man or nothing like that, but on, once again, a spiritual level. A lot of us got ancestors that watch over us. A lot of us got angels, and some of us got demons. That's where they get their power from. But either way it goes, if your attackers know who they are spiritually and they choose to ride with the demons, then why wouldn't you, as the attacked, if you're being attacked, and you don't even have to be being attacked, right? Then you owe it to yourself to know who you are, you know? And then a lot of people, they don't even know who their ancestors are. You know, people don't have the time or the interest a lot of the time to look into that kind of stuff. But when you get put into a certain position, it's almost like something activates and you have no choice. And that's where I feel I ended up in this equation, is me walking around being blind for all these years, not taking life seriously, not knowing about my power. It just came from living life in ignorant bliss, ignorant to the things going on around me, ignorant to the attacks, you know, ignorant to the damn danger, right? So I didn't have a choice. I had to look within. And like I said, man, I'm so excited because I know I'm still finding out stuff about myself. And that's what's so exciting, is that I'm not even done discovering, bro. And that just makes me feel so good inside to know, man, hey, I'm a real contender out here in these spiritual streets. And I don't care what nobody say, because they can't tell me anything different. You know, the level of attacks that I've been up under, you better know who you are, because you'll fold like a lawn chair if you don't. And that's something that you're gonna end up folding under your own pressure due to lack of knowledge, right? And the thing about lack of knowledge is, hey man, it's been so many individuals throughout history that just made all the wrong decisions based on lack of knowledge throughout history, man. So, we get to a point where you just simply got to know this stuff, man. And ain't nobody going to tell you neither. That's the breakthrough, is that ain't nobody telling you this stuff. You have to discover it on your own. And the way to do it for me was through meditation, I'm talking about, I used to sit there in the dark for hours and I just used to meditate. And things would come to me, man. Things would come to me, but that ain't the only way. The other way was how I dealt with the attacks, homie. The way you deal with what's the word I'm looking for, man? The way that you deal with I can't even think of the word right now, man. Not controversy, but like adversity. Yeah. The way you deal with adversity, right? You gonna stand up and fight like a righteous soldier, or you just gonna feel like it's over with? So you gonna make the job for the enemy easier? Man, I ain't making nothing easy for my enemy. Because for two reasons. Number one, I didn't ask to have enemies. But number two, man, I refuse to sit up there and let a person just spiritually bully me. When in the physical, I know how to fight. So it's like, I'm like, well, shit, if I taught myself how to fight in the physical, then you gotta know that I'm teaching myself how to fight in the spiritual. The unseen, the invisible. That's real power. That's shit money can't buy. I'm walking down the road right now, man. And I can feel it. I got my angels with me, man. My spiritual advisors, my ancestors, they all here. They all here. And you know what they're good at doing? Alerting me to danger. And you know why they do it? Because they know that if they alert me to danger, I'm going to deal with it the proper way. They know that. And not to mention, I already know the whole world is watching. So based on that alone, I got to be able to lead by example. I didn't ask for the fight. I didn't choose this fight. This fight chose me. So, okay. You ever got roped into some stuff you didn't want to be a part of? And you were like, well, I didn't want to be a part of this, but I'm a part of it. So because I'm a part of it, now I'm going to perform. So, hey, man. Take a self-analysis and find out who you are, man. If this message is for you, man, I hope it finds you, bro. I really hope it finds you, man. Because it could be the difference between life and death. Literally. And I don't want to see nothing happen to nobody, man. I don't want to see a person who's powerful be blocked from their own power because they didn't know how to tap into it, man. I don't want to see nothing like that. I'm all about progression and growth, thriving and surviving. And if I could see that from all my people, that would fill me with all the joy in the world, bro. Because then that's how I know more and more people are waking up to who they are. And that's what we need. Look at what the world doing to us, man. Look how they taking advantage of us. And we all know that. Even the attackers know. Hey, man, we living in a world where they will take advantage of you spiritually and physically. And they rely on the fact that half these people out here, they don't know who they are.